Have you ever felt exhausted by the noise around you and longed for some peace in your life? Sometimes silence might be the answer you've been seeking. But what if I told you that solitude isn't a negative thing, but rather a hidden strength? A tool that can completely change the way you view life. So, why are we so afraid of being alone? Solitude can be an escape, helping you discover yourself and find things you never thought possible. Welcome to Wisdom Daily, where we will explore 3 reasons why solitude can bring joy and power to your life. Let's dive into valuable lessons from philosophers, so you can begin your journey of self-discovery and live a more meaningful life. Part 1. Solitude and the difference between isolation and solitude. You've probably experienced loneliness, haven't you? But did you know that solitude is not isolation? Solitude is an inner state, independent of whether or not other people are around. You can feel lonely even when you're surrounded by thousands of people. Why is that? Because loneliness is not the absence of others, but the feeling of disconnection, a lack of deep understanding of yourself and the world around you. Solitude is a space for self-exploration, a way to reconnect with yourself. When we detach from external influences, whether from work, social relationships, or the noise of the world, we can truly face ourselves. Have you ever tried sitting alone and reflecting on what you really want out of life? Or are you constantly swept away by the never-ending cycle of tasks and responsibilities? In today's society, we live in a never-ending work world. Going to work, studying, socializing, connecting, everything demands that we keep acting, interacting, and producing results. But amidst all these ceaseless activities, we seem to forget something very important. We need time to rest and recharge our own energy. Imagine being in the middle of a crowd, with people around you laughing, talking, and sharing joyful stories, but you feel empty, exhausted, and unable to truly connect with anyone. That's when you're experiencing loneliness amidst the crowd. This feeling is not because of a lack of people around you, but because you don't find genuine connection, you don't find peace within yourself. This is the difference between solitude and isolation. Solitude is when you feel misunderstood, when there's no real connection, even if you're surrounded by hundreds of people. Solitude helps you recharge. Have you ever felt drained after a long day of work, interacting with many people and dealing with endless problems? The truth is, that's when your body and mind need stillness. When we allow ourselves to have a private space, a moment of silence to reflect and listen to ourselves, that's when energy is restored, helping us recover and get ready for the next challenges. Sometimes, stepping away from everything around us is not avoidance. It's a way to regain strength and find peace in our soul. That's why solitude becomes such a powerful tool in restoring our personal energy. When you spend time with yourself, you're not just pausing to rest, you're also nurturing your mind and soul. A peaceful, solitary space can bring clarity, helping you reassess what you truly want and need in life. And this will allow you to move forward more confidently, not just in work, but also in relationships and personal life. Thus, solitude is not a bad thing. Rather, it is an essential part of the journey of personal growth. But why can solitude bring such profound benefits? Let's continue exploring the fascinating advantages that solitude can offer you in the next part. Part 2. The benefits of solitude, self-discovery, and personal growth. Solitude is not just about simply separating yourself from the outside world. It's truly an opportunity to face yourself. When you are in a quiet space, free from the daily noise of life, you can begin to reflect on the deeper thoughts within you. Solitude is when you listen to your own thoughts, reassess what you've done, and discover what you truly want to achieve in life. Socrates, one of the greatest philosophers of all time, taught that, "Know thyself is the first step toward becoming a complete human. This means that, in order to grow personally, you need to understand who you are, what you want, and where you are headed. Solitude provides the perfect opportunity for self-reflection, helping you uncover potentials that you may not have realized before. You may find passions, hobbies, or goals that you truly desire to pursue, but have been forgotten in the rush of social relationships or work responsibilities. I remember one time when I spent an entire afternoon sitting alone in a quiet cafe, just me and my thoughts. It was then that I truly realized some personal goals I had never dared to think about before. It was in that moment of solitude that I found a fresh motivation to continue my journey. Solitude allows you to create space to view your life and yourself in the clearest way possible. Emotional balance. If you feel like life is getting increasingly stressful and overwhelming, solitude is the tool that helps you regain peace in your soul. While society constantly demands that we interact, act, and engage in everything, solitude offers a quiet moment where you can rest and replenish your energy. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, advised, "When you feel the world outside is too chaotic, return to yourself to find peace." Indeed, sometimes all we need is to temporarily withdraw from the world around us to restore balance. Solitude helps us calm our minds and gain clearer perspectives on situations, allowing us to control our emotions and make wiser decisions. You've probably experienced moments when everything around you became unbearable. In such times, just a few minutes of solitude and stillness is enough to find peace in your mind. Try to recall the last time you gave yourself some quiet time, just to think about what you truly felt and wanted. When there are no external distractions, you can finally hear what your heart truly has to say. In those moments of solitude, you will realize something important. Your emotions are not controlled by the environment around you. You are the one who decides your emotions. Solitude helps you recognize your self-worth without being swayed by societal expectations, allowing you to be more confident in your decisions and choices. So, solitude doesn't just help you find peace and discover yourself. It also serves as an endless source of inspiration for creativity and innovation. Let's continue exploring the other incredible benefits that solitude can bring to your life in the next section. Creativity and innovation. Have you ever felt that your best ideas tend to come when you're alone? When we detach from the noise, the demands of work, or the hustle and bustle of social life, we can truly think independently. Solitude provides us with the space to create without distractions. This is why many creative people, artists, and great thinkers have found their biggest inspiration in moments of solitude. Friedrich Nietzsche, one of the greatest philosophers of the 19th century, always emphasized that isolation is a key element in developing independent and creative thoughts. In his famous book, Beyond Good and Evil, Nietzsche writes about the necessity of retreating into solitude in order to overcome societal constraints and discover new, meaningful values. He believed that only by distancing ourselves from prejudices and societal pressures could we truly develop our creative thinking. Surely, you've experienced the feeling that when you step away from the familiar environment, everything suddenly becomes clearer. An idea that you couldn't see before now appears to be so obvious. Solitude is not just the absence of others. It's an inner space where we can develop new ideas and make important discoveries about ourselves. Spiritual growth. Not only does solitude benefit creativity, but it also profoundly impacts our spiritual growth. In many spiritual traditions, especially Buddhism, solitude is seen as a method to achieve deeper self-awareness and understanding of the world around us. It's when we take quiet time to sit with ourselves, step away from the complexities of life, and reconnect with our true nature. One of the highest goals in Buddhism is enlightenment, which is the comprehensive understanding of oneself and the universe. To reach enlightenment, one must withdraw into solitude, separate from external distractions, and find tranquility in the soul. This not only helps the mind to relax, but also enhances awareness, helping people access profound truths they might never realize during the busy rush of everyday life. For example, Buddhist monks spend years living in solitude in temples or in nature to seek enlightenment. They believe that only through quiet moments, free from the disturbances of the outside world, can they achieve awakening and understand the truth of life. Similarly, in our modern lives, we may not need to spend years in a temple, but taking time alone for meditation and reflection can help us quiet our minds and find the peace we are missing. Solitude, therefore, not only helps us discover ourselves, boost creativity, and develop spiritually, but it is also an excellent tool for seeking peace in life. So, how can we practice solitude in our daily lives to harness all these benefits? Let's continue exploring simple ways to incorporate solitude into your routine and lifestyle. Part 3. Practicing solitude in daily life. Creating a private space. In today's busy world, where work, family, and social relationships take up most of our time, creating a private space is incredibly important. Solitude is not something that happens by chance. It is a conscious choice. Therefore, the first step is to find yourself a quiet space where you can be completely separated from the distractions around you. Imagine having a small corner in your home where you can sit down without the noise of the TV, no phone calls, and no one bothering you. It could be a little desk by the window, a comfortable chair, or even a corner of your garden, if you have one. Once you have your own space, you will easily feel the freedom and comfort to reflect, relax your mind, and reconnect with yourself. Sometimes, just having a simple space like that is enough to make you feel rejuvenated. Remember, creating a private space not only helps you escape distractions from the outside world, but also creates an environment that supports self-exploration. Establishing a solitude habit. Creating a quiet space is the first step, but for solitude to become a part of your life, you need to establish a solitude habit. Set aside a specific time each day or week to practice solitude. You don't need to start with long periods. Just 10-15 minutes each day is enough for you to start noticing a difference. You might think that modern life doesn't leave enough time for such quiet moments, but in reality, we can all carve out a little time for ourselves, even with a busy schedule. You can start your day with a few minutes of meditation or relaxation in a quiet space before diving into work. Or, after a long day, take some time to sit alone and reflect on what has happened throughout the day. Creating this solitude habit will gradually help you realize the profound benefits that solitude brings. You'll find yourself less stressed, more in control of your emotions, and more importantly, you'll have the opportunity to discover thoughts and dreams that may have been hidden in the hustle and bustle of daily life. The key is to start with small steps and stay consistent. A little solitude every day can completely change the way you view yourself and life. Over time, you'll notice positive changes in your emotions and thoughts and feel more comfortable living in solitude actively. So, solitude is not something to fear or consider negative. Rather, it's a powerful tool for recharging yourself and finding peace in life. Next, let's explore how to practice solitude to maximize its benefits in your everyday life. Solitude activities. Once you've created your private space and established the habit of solitude, the next step is to integrate solitude activities into your daily routine. One of the most powerful ways to connect with yourself is through meditation and journaling. Both of these activities help clarify your emotions, thoughts, and important decisions in life. Start with meditation. Simply find a comfortable spot, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. Meditation isn't a complex task. It's about quieting your mind, relaxing, and letting everything become clearer. While meditating, you'll notice that your thoughts and emotions no longer dominate your mind randomly. Instead, you can view them from an objective distance, helping you understand what is truly important and necessary in your life. In addition to meditation, journaling is also a wonderful tool for clarifying your feelings and thoughts. When you write down your thoughts and emotions, you not only clear your mind but also begin to notice patterns in your life that you may have overlooked before. Writing things down helps you process your emotions more easily and understand yourself better. You might be surprised when you look back at what you've written and realize that the answers you've been seeking in life were actually within yourself all along. Reducing social obligations. In a world where social connection is highly valued, sometimes you need to learn how to say no to unnecessary social gatherings in order to protect your time and energy. Not all social interactions are necessary, and always attending every event or conversation can deprive you of precious opportunities to recharge. Learning to decline unimportant meetings is a key part of practicing solitude. You don't need to attend every meeting, party, or social event. Instead, you can spend time focusing on things that truly add value. This isn't about rejecting others, but about rejecting certain things in order to protect the space and time you need for personal growth. For instance, I had to learn to turn down some social invitations from friends, even though I really wanted to go. However, when I took time for myself, I realized that I felt much happier and more at peace. That time allowed me to recharge and gave me the opportunity to think about more important things in life. Sometimes, saying no to social obligations is actually saying yes to yourself, to your personal development, and inner peace. With these activities, you will find it easier to practice solitude effectively and gradually experience positive changes in your emotions and thoughts. But how do you maintain the habit of solitude in the long term and truly apply it to your daily life? Let's continue by summarizing what we've explored together. So now, we understand why solitude can bring joy and strength to your life. Solitude is not isolation. It's an opportunity to recharge, discover yourself, and find peace within your soul. The philosophies of great minds like Socrates and Marcus Aurelius have shown us how solitude can help us balance our emotions and develop spiritually, thereby fostering creativity and innovation. When practiced the right way, solitude not only helps you realize your true worth, but also gives you the space to grow and gain a deeper understanding of life. It is a powerful tool that helps you become the best version of yourself. So, are you ready to spend a little time with yourself? Practice solitude every day to discover the peace and creativity within you. Try sitting down, taking a few minutes each day to reflect on yourself, and you will see how everything becomes clearer. If you found this video helpful, feel free to share it with anyone you think might need to hear this message. And don't forget to subscribe to Wisdom Daily so we can continue exploring more wonderful philosophical lessons that will help you grow. What do you think about applying solitude to your life? Share your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. Thank you for joining us on Wisdom Daily, and we'll see you in the next video.